Last month, we witnessed one of the most devastating things in regard to healthcare, and that is a threat to some of the benefits of Tylenol. Now, unfortunately, everything becomes politicized, and there's been a lot of research on questioning whether something that is the gold standard of healthcare, Tylenol, and saying that maybe pregnant people shouldn't take a whole bunch of it. Maybe it isn't as healthy as we think it is, or as safe. We shouldn't say healthy. I don't think anybody thinks taking over-the-counter drugs is considered healthy. The question is whether it's safe. And I don't want to get into the political aspects of it, but it's just interesting that as soon as a particular person says, hey, we're starting to think that maybe taking Tylenol isn't such a good idea, and maybe it has a relationship to autism, and it's dose dependent. The more you take, the statistical chance that something might occur to your child. The problem is that, number one, you are going up against the only thing that medicine has as far as no one questions. And this is a problem. This happens a lot in healthcare. But I'm going to change the subject and say that blood pressure also is very similar to what happens. Imagine if a president came out and says, hey, we're treating blood pressure in a way that is not correct. Maybe there's some natural ways to help blood pressure. Of course, whoever makes blood pressure medications would jump down the throat, say he doesn't know what he's talking about, and so forth like that. And this happens a lot. So let's talk about blood pressure. Let's get off the subject of Tylenol, but just to give you an idea of, can you imagine if we came up with a better solution than Tylenol? That would be just crazy talk, right? Well, it's probably not going to happen because the makers of Tylenol and Big Pharma are going to discredit all the research that ever could possibly occur in the future or has occurred in the past. But when it comes to blood pressure, there are certain things that we know. First of all, blood pressure is simply a result of uncompliant blood vessels. When a blood vessel is unable to relax and open up with every heartbeat, when it becomes stiff and narrow, we know that blood pressure goes up. That isn't really anything anybody contradicts. Pretty much everyone knows that. You ask any first-year medical student, they know it. You ask any doctor, any nurse, they all know that if your blood vessels are narrow, if your blood vessels are not pliable, then your blood pressure is going to go up. So the ultimate cause of high blood pressure for the majority of people is just narrow, stiffened, hardened arteries. So what are the dietary things, or let's put it this way, how do you treat it? The answer is blood pressure medication. And stop talking further than that. Don't question us. We know what we're doing, right? But what if there was another solution? There is. For a lot of people, changing lifestyle habits can alter your blood vessels, can make them more compliant, can make them less hard, less stiff. And if you do those things for long enough, the body responds. This is what the whole basis of natural health care is all about. So, what do you do? Number one, the first thing you got to do is start doing cardiovascular exercise. This is a no-brainer. Whether it's walking, cycling, swimming, rowing, it doesn't matter. You get your heart rate up every single day for a certain period of time, and it improves your health. The people on the internet, like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Sometimes they debate on what the best exercise is. No, you should do high intensity interval training, but let's face it, most people are not in good enough shape to do high intensity interval training. You got to start somewhere, and the place to start is steady state cardio. You go for a walk. How fast do you walk? It depends on your overall health. If you're really out of shape, you're not going to be walking far, but you can always be better than who you are today. If you work hard today, you'll be better tomorrow. Simply start exercising. Number 2, change your diet. If you're eating a diet that's full of processed foods, high sugary foods, high fatty foods, these are not ideal for cardiovascular health. You need adequate protein, which means not low protein and not high protein. You need adequate protein. How much carbohydrate do you need per day? Well, it depends how active you are. Most people, quite frankly, are not very active. So thus, they don't need a lot of carbohydrates. And then when it comes to fat, should you be eating tremendous amounts of fat? The answer is no. You should eat adequate amounts of fat so that your body can be healthy. Our body uses fat to make the membranes of our neurological system. It's used for hormones, it's used for brain health. But what type of fats? Do you need margarine? Do you need butter? Do you need olive oil? Any type of monounsaturated fat is generally the ideal fat. Thus, olive oil, avocado, nuts, seeds. The important thing to understand is that you need to change your diet. Now, are there natural supplements that you can take? Of course there are. You could eat more garlic or take garlic supplements. You could take nitric oxide supplements. Not nitric oxide itself, but L-arginine, L-citrulline, those types of things. So I'm going to show you one that I like. They're the video sponsor for today. It's this one, Nature's Pure Blend, Nitric Oxide Flow. This stuff is just awesome. First of all, it tastes good. It's a powder. You just simply mix in a glass of water and drink it. And it supplies L-arginine and L-citrulline, which are the precursors to our body forming nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is a gas that when released in our blood vessels, dilates and relaxes the blood vessels and can potentially lower our blood pressure. There are other supplements that you can take, such as magnesium and potassium and various supplements that I personally take and I like because they maintain my normal blood pressure. It's as simple as that. The name of the game when it comes to natural health care is understanding that no matter what someone says, politically or scientifically, there's always a bias. There's a bias in my videos too. I'm trying to get people to become more aware of natural health care. There are options. Just as there are options for Tylenol for pregnant women, because no one speaks of this, is if you're getting back pain from being pregnant, why not see a chiropractor? Why not see an acupuncturist? Why not do exercises? Why not do squats that help the sacroiliac joint? That's the main thing that people get pain in when they're pregnant. We have a solution, a natural solution, so that we can reduce the potential for you to take Tylenol. Whether Tylenol does what the politicians have been saying, it doesn't matter. Nobody is claiming that Tylenol is a healthy thing. It's used to mask symptoms so that we feel better. But if there's a natural solution, why not do that? It's the same thing with blood pressure. If there is a natural solution and there's potential for a person to become healthier, why not just take supplements? Why not change your diet? Why not exercise? Why not try these things? It's an option. So I'll put links to all the things that I have down in the description of all the things I have mentioned here in this video. Let me know what your thoughts on the subject are in regard to this.